president would deliver. Now, but so far it's barely 1 month after his inauguration, and we have no fuel subsidy, we have foreign exchange rates unified, we have the CBN governor and the FCC chairman suspended. This is one topic I intend talking at length this morning. We have Students' Loan Act signed, we have the Data Protection and Electricity Act signed, and including constitutional amendment and signed. Now, this morning we have olabode, fadoju, a public affairs analyst, to discuss with us as to the new administration strategies and their performance so far. Has it been wonderful? Is it beyond par, below par, or just at par? Welcome on Daybreak Africa, olabode.
A very good morning to you, olabode. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
All right, quickly, before we really dive into the main discourse, is, as my colleague has said, Ezekiel said, it's barely 1 month into the new administration. So on your own part as a Nigerian citizen, and also a political analyst, if I may say that, or let's say public analyst.
Oh, yeah.
What is your observation so far about the performance of the new administration?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me quickly say this concerning the day of this inauguration. I think, to me, the first thing he did was announcing that he's going to remove fuel subsidy, and that really affected the citizens of the country. A lot of people don't know the meaning of removing fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is something that a lot of Nigerians will gain at the end. But where the fault was coming from is the time he announced it, there were no palliative on ground for the subsidy remover. Because a lot of people, formerly you'll be buying fuel at the rate of maybe 180 something or 195, just suddenly it went to 500 plus. So it's really affected majority of our citizens. Because a lot of people look at the Nigerian minimum wage, just 30K if I'm right, 30,000 naira. So a lot of people, how do I go about this? Taking money out, everything has gone up, like transportation, cost of food items, a lot of things. It's really affected Nigerians, and I believe the government should have looked into it before announcing the subsidy. Actually, they are going to release about a month or two. But to me personally, removal of that subsidy is a good idea because they have started. When former President Jonathan wanted to remove the subsidy about 11 years ago, that's 2012 precisely. There were a lot of protests around the country that, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. So probably listened to them, but now at this stage, to run our refinery, to do all sorts of things, you just have to remove the subsidy. And most of this subsidy that will be removed are going to other facilities in the country, like health, education, and the rest. So to me, it's a good idea, but the time frame for the announcement is just too short.
So from what you're saying, you mean it's the timing is not the right time.
Yeah, not the right time.
If that time is not the right time, when do you think the right time should come up? And also, you also made mention of palliatives that should be on ground of things. Now, for quite some time now, the minimum wage hasn't been reviewed, and it's been stagnant, if I may use that word. And right now, you said the timing is bad. Firstly, I want you to give us a time that you feel is fine for it to be removed, because if we keep just saying subsidy removal is going to come, we might not possibly be able to say this is the right time. But I feel as a person and as a public analyst, you might be able to say, okay, this is the right time to be. And what are the measures that you feel like they should put in place to make things work?
Yeah, thank you very much. I believe, first of all, there should be increment in the minimum wage. Because most of this subsidy money will be used to pay the new minimum wage. I think they announced a new minimum wage for the workers, and also make some like number one is power. If there is adequate power, a lot of business will function. Most businesses are grounded now because there is no power. Just about a few days ago, a friend of mine wanted to do just a little typing. He has to go to one of these business centers that you need to type this. What the owner of the business was telling me, I can't type this now. There is no electricity, and the fuel issue, the cost of operating generator is high now. So you just say you should drop it so that when you have other customers, maybe like 5 or there, but you'll be able to do the same at the same time. So look at that kind of thing now. But if they have provision on ground before the announcement, like like what I mentioned, minimum wage, then there is stable power supply in the country, I think it will go a long way to help the citizen.
So the timing, when do you think the time is right?
I think at your level, I was thinking about, let me say, about 3 months into
Why
the government.
Do you say 3 months?
Because by then we have seen what is on ground. Because the past administration, and I don't want to talk about the past administration. I don't want to talk about the past administration. But the past administration, there are so many things that are on ground that they didn't do well. So I think you need to look into those things before you make the announcement.
Let's talk about transparency as regarding this your fuel subsidy. I mean, I know you actually vented on time, but it's time the epic center is time the stumbling block here. It's more like he said there's going to be more subsidy, and which means there's going to be a chunk of cash somewhere. I guess the question every citizen should be asking or is asking is, where is this resource being channeled to? What is the intention for such resource? Is it going to infrastructure? Is it going into education or health? What exactly? Where exactly is the money coming from? Okay, at least we know it's coming from self-subsidy, but where is it going to exactly? Now, we have been a nation that have been plagued by, say, corruption. A situation where even our EFCC boss currently is being is being pursued and all that. And from the word they said there's a weighty allegation. We are not even sure what allegation exactly. There are situations where the CBN governor himself is being accused of so many things. So even our corruption body that's supposed to actually help curtail this are also found guilty. Now, in a position where we have so much corruption issues, the question is, where is this money being channeled to exactly? So even if we are suffering as citizens, we know we're actually suffering for a particular cause. But in this case, we have no idea what cause we've been suffering for.
I just hope that the new administration under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be able to channel all the money coming out from the subsidy removal into so many infrastructure in the country. One of them is education. Education, if we find that most of our universities are not functioning. Look, if you look at the first 300 universities in the world presently, in this 2023 index, Nigeria, no single Nigerian university among the first 300. Where you have all the universities from South Africa, Egypt, and Tanzania among the first 300. So we need to channel most of these resources into education. Like, for example, now, when he came on board, he said he's going to give student loans. I believe those are the area where the money will be going into. Loan to study in the university, to do all sorts of things. The other thing we need this money to be channeled into is the health facilities. If this money is channeled into these health facilities, there will be no need for most of these people traveling abroad for treatment to go to anywhere. Another one thing that where the money is going to is the power sector. The power sector, we all know what is going on in Nigeria now. Epileptic power supply all over the country, and most of these things. To me, I believe that this issue of direct, this electrical terms, there are some people using prepaid, there are some people using direct electricity. I think if the government can provide prepaid meter to every household in the country, I think go and lead that all the money coming in will be going straight to the government coffers, not individual coffers. For example, now, if you go to most of these buildings in the country now, most of these electricity staff, when you go there, they just collect maybe change, what they put it that way, change, and they give them light. So most of the money they collected will not go into the government's coffers. So me, I will suggest that the subsidy removal monies should go into, most importantly, education, power sector, and health facilities, because we need that in the country presently. Because most of these are leaders, when they are sick or when anything happens, they have headache, straight to London, straight to US, straight to India, and the rest of them. But if you have all those facilities in place here, I think it will go a long way to help the country.
It's so interesting that you made mention of education. Most importantly, you said education. Now, talking about the student loan. On the ear is a very nice approach, and everybody will feel like it's fine. But now let's face reality. We are a country that we are wallowing in debt, a very huge one at that.
Very huge.
We have also issues over the years that has not been resolved. These are things. Now, a major concern is the unemployment rate, which is very high. You ask these students to take loans for their tuition fees, which possibly they might pay back maybe when they are fully gainfully employed. Now, we don't have such jobs on ground, if we'll be sincere with ourselves. What are the kind of measures that we need to put? Because I can still remember that some other developed countries are still really struggling to put this into implementation and work perfectly for them. Now, in such a country of ours, that we have a lot of issues, from security to economic issues, from infrastructural issues, we have a lot of things to face. Right now, do you think the student loan of a thing is what we really need now? And if that is what we need, how do you feel that the government is going to work things out and everything will come out perfectly?
Yeah, thank you. When I got the announcement about the student loan, first of all, I asked myself questions. The student loan, good, but how are they going to pay back? Is it when they graduate finish from school and without no job, without, most of them, they're going to are self-employed and they don't have power for their businesses to function. So to me, I believe what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can do is to create jobs for the teeming youth, because the job is very, 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 very important at this stage now. But for the issue of education, if you see, it's not free all over the world. All over the world, these things is happening all around the world. Just go out there are loans for students to take care of themselves, to go to schools. For example, now there are so many students out there, they want to study medicine, but because they don't, this fund is not there. But with this available loan now, you can as well go into university and study, the course of your choice. You understand? So this loan is going to go a long way to help. But the issue on grad is after school, would there be available jobs?
Because that is my own points there.
Yeah.
Because now, if you have, like, say, sorry to cut you short there, if you have about, let's say, 3 million students on the loan payroll, using this as a thing that is working for them. Of course, as we are graduating some other ones, some are still coming in.
Oh, sure.
That means it's an infinite thing. People are still using it. This is a deficit on the part of government because they are issuing money out. The money is forthcoming. You made mention of employment, but let's be sincere, we have millions of people graduating every year. So how do you cover this? And also making money, because if any business you are going into, of course, you intend to make profit. There's no argument is going to say, okay, we are just going to give loan for free, and at the end of the day, we are not making profit. If they are not gainfully employed, are you saying if you have 300, or let's say 3 million graduates in a year, they are all going to be gainfully employed? And you are still training about 3 million to come. So how do you see them putting these things together to come out well? That's
where the subsidy money comes out from. Because the subsidy money is running into trillions of naira, which we'll be able to, if utilized well. That's it. We don't know, if utilized well, it's going to cover all those expenses. That's just the truth. But I don't really trust Nigeria government. But I just hope this new administration will be able to undo that situation, because number one, look at what's happening around Africa now. There was a subsidy removal in Nigeria. They are protesting in Cameroon. That shows that most of our oil, most of our crude oil, has been going to other countries. Where they use it presently now, a friend just called from what they call this, not far here, Togo. And they are now buying fuel at the range of that's at 800 cifas, which is about 1,000 naira in Nigerian money. So you look at those kind of things. But to me, I believe this job creation is very, very important. But at the same time, government cannot do everything.
Of course.
Government cannot do it. There will still be society that will have to create things for themselves. I've said this several times to most of these students that don't depend on government. There are so many, if you go out here now, you see a lot of graduates riding Okada, a lot of Okada doing POS, first class graduates. Just imagine. I just hope the new government will make provision for job creation. I believe for all graduates. But I know it's not going to be easy. And it's not even student graduate can work for government. There's other private organizations that they need to bring in so that they can employ these graduates and make the most important thing is power. If there is power, a lot of people will be able to sustain themselves by self-employment. So to me, I think the job creation is one, the student loan is another. But we say we go to start the loan, as I think they say by July or thereabout, you are going to start the student loan of 18. I just hope it works.
So we are just hanging on hope for that.
Yeah, just hope. Another thing is President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, I think in his appointment, you don't have to be a member of your party before you appoint people to key key positions. Because number one, you don't say because you campaign for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you campaign for the APC or whatever, that you must be a key member of the administration. I want you to look outside his party. I want to look outside. Go in out there and get people that are experienced, people that will be able to handle the situation. Because Nigeria economy needs a good hands to be to grow. That's just the truth. Yeah.
Talking about appointments, his predecessor, former President Muhammadu Buhari, actually came on the table of the fight against corruption. I can't say for sure if he did a good job or not. I guess I leave that to the masses. Now, Tinubu came in, and then what we see now, where he suspended the EFCC chairman, Mr. Bauer, he suspended the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. The question is he fighting corruption, or is he trying to mix? Because it has made more like a continuity in the Nigerian system. I mean, the same thing happened to Bauer's predecessor, Magu. Yes, Mr. Magu came, and then there was allegation. We have no idea how that issue ended. It's more like there was no final verdict at some point, but
it's becoming like a script.
More like a script now. Whenever a new administration comes in, they do it with whoever they don't want, and then bring a new appointee. Now the question is this appointment based on merit, or is it, should I use the word business as usual? Maybe I'm done with you, you can go, and then you bring in the next person.
Actually, concerning the appointment, I don't belong to any political party. So, but most what I see, other past administrations and the rest, the PDP, most of the appointment come from their party, party members. So they don't have experts, bringing experts from outside to come and help them develop the economy. Like for the issue of Magu, I mean, what do you call him, Emefiele and Bauer. I think Godwin Emefiele is a member of the APC. So I believe President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, he really wants to fight corruption. For the way he started, I think he really wants to fight it, and I just hope we'll be able to sustain it. Because with what everybody, what we saw, the money, come on. Because you just imagine an individual account, not organization, having that huge amount of money in any individual account. That's, I don't know what to say. But I don't want to start saying a lot of things, because I don't really know, maybe it's really or not. I can't say that. But for now, from what I've seen, is let's just be able to sustain the anti-corruption fight.
Now, when you said a person of Emefiele is a member of the APC, and therefore for that reason, the president is actually kicking against corruption. What about the issue of Sirica and the Nigerian Airways? How would you?
You see, at the Sirica, I don't know. At least, probably, from what I'm seeing, those are the people that didn't support his emergence as president. So probably it might be
talking in person of Godwin Emefiele.
Godwin, if you look at it, during their primary, Godwin Emefiele actually wanted to contest for the under the APC. So I did Sirica painting Nigeria airplane for that huge amount of money. Man, that is, I don't know what to say.
So if I actually get you right, you're saying he's trying to fight persons that actually didn't support him, people that were not exactly a support system. So in essence, not exactly fighting corruption, but rather fighting
fighting
corruption that were against him.
It's fighting corruption, because from what we have been seeing, how can you use that amount of money to say you want to paint Nigeria airplane?
But they have not brought Sirica to book. It's just Godwin Emefiele and Bauer right now. Sirica is still working freely, and nobody's saying anything. So I guess what Ezekiel is saying right now is, if we are seeing Godwin Emefiele being persecuted and being dragged for what he has done, which we don't know yet, but a lot of allegations have been placed against him, laid against him. Now, Hadi Sirica, you promised the whole nation that this is what is going to happen. You even gave them dates. Now, at the end of the day, everything is coming out like it's fallacy. They are not through. There's nothing there. But at the end of the day, everybody still feel like, okay, by now there should be a accusing figure pointing at him, right, from the state government, the federal government. Nobody's saying anything. Am I going to say is buying time or what? Because right now, if you did Emefiele own immediately you came into office, as it's going hot, what is happening to Sirica?
in the former administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, they are cabals, and some of those cabals are untouchable. Yes, but I just hope that President Tinubu will be able to break those cabals.
Now, when you talk about cabals, sorry to cut your train of thought. When you talk about cabals that have been instituted in our government, the person of Ganduje, former Kano State Governor, has been more like, I would say, a close friend to Mr. President. I mean, I saw him almost, if not all his campaign. Ganduje has always been behind Mr. President. Just recently, Ganduje said he wouldn't want EFCC to come probe him under any circumstance. Now, it takes audacity to actually say things as that. You wouldn't want a body to come probe you. I wonder what is hiding exactly, but it really doesn't make sense. And don't forget, in 2018, we saw the issue. I mean, I think that's where the word of Gandola came from.
Gandola, bribe.
Now, there have been issues concerning that, and now he's coming out to say he wouldn't want EFCC to come probe him. And now we're talking about cabals instituted.
So just like now, it's given at its own conditions.
Are you trying to, more like there are people now that are above the law, and in all honesty, I mean, we could see the probability or the closure.
Of course, it happens to every
government.
Now,
in this case, can Mr. President really come out to say he's fighting corruption if he can't fight in your words, he has this cabal, and we could see the cabal coming out to boost and tell the body not to come probe them? Do you think this fight against corruption is actually fair, or should we just bank on your belief system saying it's more like a fight against
opponents?
You know, you're my foe.
We have to wait and see what's going to happen, because in every government there is always cabal. You cannot strike that out at all. And there are people that supported him during his campaign stuff. This emerges as the candidate of the APC. So those people, I would just say those people are members of his new government. Because very soon, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the final say on who to go after, who not to go after. Just really, when Emefiele was arrested and detained, he has to make sure of implicated, what they call it, this suspended EFCC chairman, Bawa, right? So, because he said that during the issue of the cash crunch, it was Bawa that told him that they should redesign the Naira. And in redesigning the Naira, you know how much was spent on redesigning the Naira. So those are the things that really President Bola Ahmed never supported the redesign then. So, and there are so many things that are going on. This individual having that huge amount of money in individual account. What happens to the TSA? What happened to the TSA? Because I believe it's only a multinational organization that have that kind of money, not an individual. Individual having that kind of huge amount of money in his account. So those are the things that really bring about. But let us wait and see. Let's see how it's going to. The administration is still young, it's still new. Let's see how this is going to work. And I believe that Mr. President is going to do a lot to.
Can I be a little bit direct with you, sir? Do you think, in all honesty, that this administration is forefrontly fighting corruption with all honesty and integrity?
For now, I can't say. For now, because former President Buhari started with the same thing, that's going to fight corruption. But at the end of the day, we will see what is happening in the country. And I just hope that the new administration under the leadership of Tinubu will be able to fight this corruption. We just hope.
Now, you spoke about cabal. This existing cabal, do you really see them like a group? I don't know who they are. I don't know if you know them, but you mentioned cabal. This group of cabals you mentioned, do you see them as a group that will actually take Nigeria higher, or it's more like a recycling of old being?
You see, I said it earlier that when he's doing his appointment, he should be able to get people that are ready to work. People, experts in every field, a round peg in a round hole. So in this cabal, most of these cabals, they are the ones that dictate the appointments. Especially the appointment of Minister of Finance, Minister of Petroleum, and where all those major ministries, they are the ones that decide it. But I just hope, I don't know, I'm not a politician. I don't belong to any political party. I said it earlier. So I don't know how that goes, but I don't know the plans of President Tinubu for Nigerians. I don't know, but I just hope that this appointment, by the time it starts rolling in, this appointment, we'll be able to.
That is exactly where I want to come in now. From the way you've answered question, you have been very diplomatic and trying to make your ways around it, which I really appreciate. Though you said we should hang on hope, which is what every Nigerian should do right now. But we have hope, but we have reality. Now the reality part of it is we are all expecting is cabinets, especially the ministers, people he's going to appoint. Now, some days back, he announced his special advisors, and the person of Nuhu Ribadu was on the list for security. If I may ask, what is the connection there with his antecedent of what had happened to him before? What do you think is going to happen there? Do we really see anything being advised into positivity here?
At the same time, I'm surprised about the issue of Rufai being the
Nuhu Ribadu.
Nuhu Ribadu of Adama being the formerly was former EFCC chairman. Probably he might have seen what is antecedent then as the EFCC chairman. Probably let's see what's going to happen. For now, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to criticize anyone. But let's just hope that we will be able to perform in that aspect. But for the national security advisor, Ribadu, FCC, oh, come on. I don't know. Let me just
go well with you.
Let's see. When by the time we'll get to know as soon as, you know.
All right, thank you very much for coming on the program. Really appreciate you dipping into your wealth of wisdom and helping us to do the analysis well. All right, viewers, I'm very sure you've also gotten one or two things. As he said, let's hang on hope. This is what we really need right now, because hope will get us going, and we believe that Nigeria will be great again. From us here, we'll be handing over to our Lagos studio, which will give you a more juicy package. I will say goodbye from here. I am Michael Obagiri.
I guess Mr. President came up and said his intention is to bring about renewed hope. And I guess that hope should be renewed every day, every morning as a Nigerian citizen. Have a wonderful day ahead. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.